good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal, and today we're going to talk about a cute 'em up. For those that kind of don't know what that is, a cute 'em up is a shoot 'em up or a shmup, my favorite genre, but it's cute. And cute 'em ups have been around since the 80s. And I guess you could say that the first cute 'em ups came from Konami. Nowadays, I don't like giving Konami much credit for most anything, but Konami gave us Twin B and gave us this series that I'm going to talk about a game in today, in Parodius. Parodius is an amalgamation of the words parody and gradius. Put that together, got Parodius. Well, today's game is actually the second title in that franchise, and the first, I want to say, on the Famicom and NES, though we didn't get it here in the US for some reason, because, I don't know, Konami didn't like us and would rather give us, Mystical Ninja, which ain't a bad game, and Base Wars, which also wasn't a bad game, then Parodius, and Crisis Force, stuff like that. Well, I'm doing all this complaining and pouting, but today we're going to talk about a title that didn't get released here in the States. It got released in Japan and it got released in Europe. Today, we're going to take a look at Parodius, From Myth to Laughter. Now, this title, it basically plays like a Gradius title. So the power-up system is similar, where you pick up these little lantern type deals and you pick up enough to correspond with whichever power-up you want to activate. So if you want missiles are usually second on the list of power-ups. You collect 2 of those little lantern type deals and then hit the button and you get missiles. For speed is usually the first thing. You collect 1, hit the button, speed up. So you had a number of different characters, and each character had a different power-up tree. And they apparently came from different titles in the Konami shmup library. So you had one character that had a Gradius power-up tree. You had one character that had a Gradius 2 power-up tree. Another title we didn't get in the US. We'll talk about that another day. One character had a Twin B power-up tree, and one character had a Salamander or Life Force. If you're not familiar with what Salamander is, it's basically Salamander and Life Force were essentially kind of the same series, but another thing we'll talk about at a different point. But this game especially was notable because it took a lot of the same gameplay tenets that you got in a Gradius title. That really methodical, really good side-scrolling shooter gameplay, classical style shooter gameplay, pre-bullet hell, and just put a lot of silliness in it and made it cute as all hell. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And each title in this franchise, for the most part, has been fun. As far as home ports, the high watermark for a lot of gamers were the ones on the 16-bit consoles, particularly Super NES. But that's up to, opinion. But this particular Parodius title, it's a fantastic little shooter, and it's something that if you have a chance to play it, if you have an opportunity to try it out, you should totally do so, because There's a lot of imagination, a lot of really good energy, a lot of bright, colorful enemy characters. There are some bosses that are absolutely hilarious. And your characters, you play as an octopus with a headband on. That is, yeah, that's pretty cute. Yeah. While this doesn't have the cuteness of, say, a Cotton or what's the game? Game Tengoku, stuff like that. This one is still pretty doggone adorable. And it's a great game to boot. Again, you can't beat a classic Konami shmup at all with a bat. Now, real quick, if you want a copy of Parodius, you can get them. It's a lot less expensive to get a copy of the Famicom version, but you gotta have something to play it on. You can get a European copy, but you gotta have something that'll play it. Problem with the European copies, while it looks identical to a standard NES cart, because it's not set up for American systems and systems and televisions, you might run into some problems with the game speed and stuff like that. It runs at a different frequency, so I would say get yourself a clone console that will run that. But yeah, it costs about starts about $50 to get a copy of Parodius. So yeah, it ain't that bad. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful folks tomorrow. Tomorrow, we take a look at a platformer based on a character from the 1940s. No, not you, Bugs Bunny. We talked about you already. Get out of here.